Good evening, everybody. How are y'all doing today? Welcome to Go Beyond for February the 28th. It is the last Monday in February, but it is the first Monday for the March set of classes. So March classes will be the 28th, the 7th, the 21st, and the 28th. Okay. The week of the 14th, there will be no class because I will be elsewhere. Tonight, you're going to need your yoga block, a pair of weights, a band for your legs, and your body towel. We're only going to use the body towel for one thing. So if you don't have a body towel, you can grab a kitchen towel because it's just the right size, because we're going to just be raising and lowering while we're doing some moving. And we are going to use our chair for two songs, number 7 and number 10 in our workout list. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to warm up doing some knee pulls. We'll start with a reach pull on our knees, and then we're going to reach pull with the knee to the side, and then we're going to do some side lunges and some arm raises to kind of get everything moving. And then we're going to set up a couple of targets so that we can do some shuffling. So let us get moving. Roll your shoulders a little bit, and then forward. Make sure you bring the elbows up over shoulder level. Forward. Arms up. And pull, pull, pull. Now, you don't have to do full extension because remember, we're warming up. So you just want to start with a relaxed position. Now let's start bringing the knee across, almost as if you're doing the crisscross. Do a little torso rotation again. Keep the arms fairly relaxed. And now let's go center. And start pushing those arms up a little more. Good. 4, 3, 2, shake it down. Just do a little march for me here. Curve the shoulders up, back, and down. Back, up, forward. All right, go to hip width. You're simply going to step, step. So you're taking a little bit inner thigh. You want to do this rather easily. So this leg stays long, and the bend is in the forward knee. Now let's add a little oomph, so let's bend and up, bend and up, bend and up, bend. Now let's have an arm raise. Ready? Bend and up, bend and up, bend and up, bend and up. Back to march. Now, I want us to go to a heel lift march. So you're going to lift, lift. Now be careful not to over pull on your quads, because by pushing your heels go towards the glutes, you're really going to stretch these muscles out. You want to warm them up. So don't create on it. Almost done. 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. All right. All right, catch your breath. Get a drink of water if you need to. And I want you to pick up your weights. We're going to use them as targets. So you want to find your widest space to move. And in order for me to have a wider space, I have to move my chair. So we're going to shuffle from side to side. So I'm going to take a big step over here and try not to ram my head into the wall. And here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a little bit of the squat position, and I'm going to shuffle, and I'm going to shuffle without crossing my feet. And about a little ways in, when you feel confident enough, I want you to shuffle and do a little bit of a hinge to touch. You don't have to start out doing that, but I want you to do that after you get used to your movement. Okay? That's what we're going to do next. Here we go. Right in between. Here we go. So start your shuffle. Small feet move, small feet move. It's all about picking your feet up so that you don't trip or roll on an ankle. And as you get into it, get a little lower. You're sitting into your cheeks. A little bit lower. And then when you're ready, take the time to exhale and bend down towards your feet or your target. We've also used shoes for this. Make sure you're breathing, and then you're coming up before you start shuffling again. Good. Just that little shuffle. Try not to careen into any walls. There you go. Good. Mindful of your knees and your back. Make sure you're pushing back into your hips. Let it reach down. Be good there, guys. Almost done. All right. Go ahead, stand up and walk for me. Whew. Stop. All right. I want you to walk and catch your breath because your feet go side to side and up and down. Pick up your weights, return them to the chair. I was going to have you use them for a target in the second thing, but you won't need a target. You're going to die anyway, so who needs a target for that? We're simply going to jump, and if you need your chair for balance assistance, you're certainly welcome to. You're going to find a spot, and you're simply going to jump or hop forward and then back. So you're going to do 4 moves. You're going to go forward, back, back, then forward. So you're going to go up, back, back, up. That's why I said you can jump or hop. If you're doing the hop, which means you're going to be using 2 feet staggered, you can do it back, and then forward. So I encourage you to try the double-footed jump first. You're not doing the broad jump here. You're just doing a little forward movement. Use your arms, swing them up because that helps your body to go up. So here, and the same thing in reverse by lifting. So when we do our jumps, there's not going to be a timing for it. You know what the pattern is. Forward, back, backward, forward. All right, because I'm not going to sit here and go 1, 2, 3. Because some of you might want to go slower. That's okay. The whole movement of jumping is heavy cardio, and it's going to be good for us because we need to lift ourselves up off the floor. We're going to do the same song that we just did. And I'm going to turn my fan on. So if anybody needs to make any adjustments on the air, feel free to do so. Here we go. Spanish needles, one more time. So take your time and do your jumps with intensity. Don't try to run through this. The song is like 1.5 minutes long. Okay, we're at the halfway point. I'm going to switch to hops. I'm going to make sure that when I hop, I'm always switching my lead foot. So I'm not always leading with my right foot. And I'm not always leading with my left foot. And my feet are landing as relatively close conjunction, but I'm also going to take bigger steps. So there are pluses and minuses to both moves. You challenge yourself with spacing. Last set. All right, walk it out for me. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to lunges. This is where you're going to need to put your band on at below knee level. So go ahead and get that done. La la. Find my band. Put it below your knees. As you go through and do these, you will discover where on your legs you like to have them. A lot of people like to have it at the topmost edge of the joint, and there's nothing wrong with that. For me personally, I like to have it on the wider part of my thigh, simply because the band holds better for me there. So if you see me putting it a little bit lower, that's my comfort level. You don't have to put it there. However, if you've got knee issues, you want to put it lower so that you don't have the band right next to the joint, pulling on an area you might not like to have it on, okay? Then pick up your weights. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do we're gonna do diagonal lunges, which means you're gonna be stepping diagonally to the left and diagonally to the left. So you're gonna be doing a K lunge here and a K lunge here, and then a reverse K and a reverse K. So you're stepping at the diagonal on the 45s, and you're going to do same arm raise. So if you step with your left foot, your left arm goes out at that same diagonal, and the same thing back here, same diagonal. And now notice I did turn my shoulder. You can do a kickback push if you want. So that reverse lift is entirely up to you. What are you feeling like today? But that front arm raise needs to make sure you drop that shoulder and that fist is not up here. Okay, so you have a nice level through there. Okie dokie. Artichoke. Make sure I'm not stepping into the chair. All right, so we'll start by the left foot forward, here, and then left foot back, and then the right foot back. Up, then left. So you can pick a pattern that works for you. You want to be stepping at the diagonal and not directly forward and not directly back. So you're doing diagonal, lateral-ish. If I'm going too fast, try to slow it down. I'd rather you have good form than try to keep up with the energizing. You know what I'm saying? Here, 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 and here. Okay, so we're going to change up the pattern. We're going to go right, left, shall we? So here, and here, and now the reverse ones. And here, and here. Let's do it again. So changing the patterns keeps us thinking, prevents us from getting into a stepping rut. Let's do it one more time. So now we're going to reverse that pattern. Left, right, left, right. There we go. And if you get lost, just keep going. All right, so we're going to do double front arm, then either front leg, and double back arm with your back leg. So we're going to do left, left, right, right. Left, left. I'm just going to kick back on these, and then a double front raise. Left, kick, kick, double front. Let's do this one again and reverse it. Just here, here, and then back right. and then back left, and then front left. And let's go single, left, back. Here, and then back. Here, and now the right side. And reverse this one by doing right again, right, and back. And now left back. And the front, and done. All right. So we're going to keep the weights, keep the band. We're going to go into step overs. So get your yoga block or your box, whatever you have. If you don't have a box or block, you can use your towel. We're going to be doing step overs forward. So you want to get your block. Make sure you have room behind you. And you actually don't need your weights for this one. You do need your towel. My bad. Because we're going to pick up the towel. But first, I'm going to demonstrate. You need to take the band to just above your thighs. And there's a reason for this. If you keep it below your knees, it's going to be rolling all over the place. You're going to start by putting your right foot next to the block so that you can pick up your foot and step over, pick up your foot and step over. This should not make your band want to roll up your thighs so much because you're not taking a huge step. You're doing a little lift push. And if it does roll, then you slow it down and let it unroll. We're going to add the towel to that, so go ahead and grab that. Simply, when you step forward, you raise the towel. When you step back, it comes down. We're going to do half the song with the right foot on the side, left foot going over, and then we'll switch and do the other half. And then we're going to do a second song where we're doing laterals side to side. Here we go. So first you're going to step and get used to the band. How big a step can you take and press into it? And then you get ready to go shoulder level to begin with, and down. And then you're going to just warm yourself up into a raise, eyeball level, and then higher. So you're taking your time. You're not trying to run through here. You're trying to maintain your balance and try to keep the band from rolling up your legs at the same time. It's a hard job. Front hook, and then that back lunge. You can't do a true lunge with the band. They don't work that way. Now let's add a sweep to the left. And then a raise. So you're going to the same side as the same leg. The leg that goes back, go to that side. So you actually challenge people when, wait a minute, what? I saw you. Let's do one more. All right, think down. Take your left foot to the side. We're going to do the right foot step over. Remember the first couple are just stepping. You have to warm up your leg. Get your body and the band used to doing something slightly different. And begin with the easy raise. Right here, chest level. And then a little higher. And then a little higher. Good. Make that step as big as you can without rolling your band. Let's go ahead and do our to the right swoop. Right. 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 One more. We're done with this, guys, so put him down. We're going to change our block direction. You're going to turn it long way. You're going to turn it parallel to your feet now and keep it flat because we're going to step over it. And you will have your weights for this one. So go ahead and pick those up for me. So basically, you stand on one side of your block and you're going to pick up your foot enough to step over and wide enough that you can get both feet in. So the trick is not to step just on this side because guess what? You don't have a place to put your foot when you do that. So you're going to step wide. You might have to adjust your band for that, but make sure your feet are going over the block and not like this. Don't step over and then sheet around. The whole idea of this is to pick your feet up while you're moving laterally. Pick them up, pick them up. As we get into the song, we will add a single overhead press in the direction that you're going. So you're going to the left, you'll press, and then you'll press to the right. Okay? How high you go is entirely up to you. So if you're wanting to stay in the W and just kind of go right here, totally fine, fully functional move. If you're wanting to do full extension, that's totally on you. However you want to do it, not going to be mad. Well, if it would play, we would do that. Now, here we go. Start off with the stepping first, because you want to get used to taking a step, picking your feet up, and not looking at the block. Okay? Once you figure out where the block is, you should not have to look at it. If you occasionally have to glance to make sure it hasn't crawled away, that's fine. When you get ready, go ahead and bring your hands here. Get your hands used to being in this position because you've changed your center of gravity just a little bit. And you can ease into it by doing just a little tiny raise, a little tiny raise. So you don't have to go full blast because we still got 2 minutes of song left. So don't overdo it. So you're taking that lovely, nice big step, stepping over. Of course, you have that resistance that you will feel tomorrow or the next day. Good. Now, when you're ready, you can always change how high you go, how slow you go on the step. I do want to encourage you to take the bigger step if you can. Add that knee width, depending on what your band will let you do. We're going to do 2 more. 1, and this is the second one. In and out. So put our weights down. Still going to go over this guy. So now we're going to go into just a little bit of a hinge position. Okay? Stepping in the hinge, peak sumo. So the hips are behind you. So we're engaging into that. Please, you're trying to kill us. Yes, got dog in the keep playing. So you want to sit your hips into this and come up. So think of it as a swoop into that hip hinge. Wherever you want to put your hands is fine. You can hold them here. You can brace lightly against your hips. You can rest them at the crease of your thigh. Just don't be pushing. It should simply be resting. 4, 3, 2, and done. All right. You can take your band off. No, you can't take your band off. Don't. I lied. Sit down on the front edge of your chair. Put your weights on the chair behind you. We will need them shortly. What we're going to do here is, oh my gosh, a little more hip work. I've done a lot of hip work today. So, you can scoot this a little closer to your knees off the top of your thighs. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to alternate between doing in the air open and close and on the floor open and close. So you'll open, close, down, open, close, open, close, open, close. There'll be no pattern to it unless the music lends itself to that. At some point, we will pick up the weights and simply, you know, whatever pattern you find to do it. See, down is easy, but when you're in the air, it's hard to open and close because the legs are going to get in your way. So you're going to do some sort of arms there. We'll figure it out. It'll look really funny on my end because my end is the one that's being recorded. Just saying. All right. Everybody got a chance to catch their breath? Let their hips relax for just a half a second. Say what? Let's just work on the upper open and close first, and then the lower one will add the weights too. So you can hold on to your chair, lift your knees up, and start with just open and close. Here we go. Open, close. Open, close. Now make sure you're arching your belly button forward and not sitting into the slump of your spine, because you start actually putting pressure. So you want to make sure your belly button is going forward and your feet are coming apart, keeping them just below. Double time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Counting down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Okay, you're gonna roll your hips forward. Let's stretch that low back. You gotta give yourself some release there. Breathe through it. Breathe back up. All right, little rock. Go ahead and pick up your weights here. So, make sure your heels are underneath your knees. And when you open, keep your legs parallel. Don't make them go to rhombus form. This is rhombus. Okay? Parallel. Keep them square. Here we go. Open, close. Open, close. Lift, down. Whatever pattern you find that works for you, I'm not going to be mad. Just don't rhombus your heels out, okay? And if you're doing a little bit of rock in your abs, that's totally okay too. Just don't be using your weights to swing. You lift, lower. If you're having to swing, then shorten your lift space. Notice I'm not going all the way down. I'm going down to leg level and lifting up the shoulders so I can control my arms. We're in the last count down. Hold up and open, close. Push those knees out. All right, go ahead and take your band off. I know y'all are all looking forward to it. Whew. Toss it to the side. Rock on your chair just a little bit. Oh, it feels good. You're going to need 2 things. Your yoga block and a weight. All right? So, I want you to put the yoga block right there. And you know what? Go ahead and set it at its tallest level. I want to give us a good warm-up. All right? So you're going to stand up in front of your chair. Back your legs up to the chair. For me, the way this chair sits, the front legs actually come out. And so my heels are against the front legs. So the front legs of my chair do this. Here's the seat, here's the front leg. And then I'm going to go into my hip hinge, which means you keep your legs relatively straight, stick your butt back first, and then bend the knees a little bit. So you're sitting right here, and we're going to stretch those hammies. This should be within reaching distance if you go a little further down. But first we warm up, and now we pulse. And make sure the pulsing movement is coming from the hips. Because you really want those hamstrings to wake up. You do not have to have the back of your legs touching the chair. Okay. A little bit more to warm up. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, roll it up. So essentially what you're going to do is you're going to stand up, Squat down, pick up the block, and then put it back down. Stand up, pick it up, put it back down. So squat, come up, put it down, come up, down, and up, down, and up. Now, once you have mastered that level, if that is too easy for you, then on one of your things, you simply turn the block sideways and make it lower. Okay, so that you're having to reach a little more. But you want to try to keep your shoulders relatively square. You're not doing a full-on torso rotation. And up, down. And again, you can actually take this one to a lower setting because your block has one more level of flat. But then your ability to palm it comes into play. And if you can palm it, then you're probably ready to switch that out and use your weight. Reach your weight and put it back down. Pick it up. Put it down. Pick it up. Put it down. Being mindful of your back. You don't ever arch into that. You always keep that belly button safely tucked. You're using your hammies and your cheeks here. Nice. I know you're tired. We're almost done. We're in the last part. One more. Ready? Boom. Come up, stay up. And then pick up those legs. All right. We're going to keep this one thing, and you can use this weight, or you can use the yoga block, depending on what your shoulders are saying to you. If your shoulders don't want to do any overhead with the weight, then you simply use your yoga block. You got something to hold on to? We're going to do reverse lunges. And we're going to do a wood chopper. Position for wood chopper is you hold the weight in your hands, letting the head rest on your thumbs, and then you have your fingers steepled like so. And then you will take it up overhead and reach back behind your head without craning. So if you do this, you're in the wrong position. You want to just go here. Notice I'm not trying to touch low, and then back up. So if you want to use a yoga block, you can go like this. Add a reverse lunge. So we're going to start by reverse lunging. Here and here. So we're going to do 10 without just holding the arms here. 10, 1, 2, 3, carefully. 4, use those toes back there. 5, sit into that knee. 6, into that glute or that quad. 7, your glutes are there too. 8, 2 more. 9, and 10. This time when you step back, you do that little bit of a dip with those weights. 1. And if you need to, 2, you can actually do it from the front, where you roll it in towards your collarbones. Okay, that would be the modification. Nice. Okay, there you go. Just make sure you're picking those elbows up on that roll in for that modification. Good. I've got a couple of people who modified. Perfect. Nice and slow. Don't ever speed up on this. When the weight gets to be too much overhead, go to the modification up front. Because then you'll actually work on some flexibility. Where you are right now, we are going to switch gears here. Probably 2 or 3 more. As the song is changing. All right, bring it clear. You're going to rotate and lift those elbows and then rotate it back out. So take your fingers all the way in, all the way out, all the way in, all the way out, in, out, in, out. One more. And done. Go ahead and let your arms come down. Woo. All right, we're going to go to abs. You want your yoga block back in play on both weights. All right, sit on the front edge of your yoga block between your feet. You want the back of the yoga block lined up with the back of your heels so that when you move the block, it's in the position you want it. You're going to simply pick your feet up and take your toes, so we're going to see them just beyond your knees. There you go, put your heels on top of this block. And I'll tell you what, when you're doing this barefooted, it feels a whole lot different than when shoes on. Shoes have that point. And it doesn't want to make you block rock, but when you have your heels on there, it makes it smooth. So pull those toes up, make them come as close to your shins as you can. With these guys here. So you're going to sit up nice and tall, and you're going to lean back to that 80-degree position. Remember, your belly button is coming forward towards the top of your thighs. If your back is going like this, not like this, right here. And when you go from 90 to 80, your shoulders up here are going like this. You're making that S curve that goes like this, just like you try to. And just begin a nice little pulse rock here. It starts, you start feeling it here first, which is just below your rib cage. And depending on how long we go, you'll start feeling it in other places as well. And if you got your toes lifted up, you're going to feel it in the top of your quads. Definitely going to feel it in your shins. Because your shins are going to get tired of holding your feet up. They're flexed right now. It's all gonna be enough. Losing ourselves to the nice rocky ab. This is the way it's supposed to be. Each minute its own masterpiece. Just did a little simple adjustment on my feet. I brought my heels closer together. Put your toes up. And doing that little move for me actually made me start feeling a little more in the outer edge of my glutes and outer edges of my quads. Come up to that regular position and let your toes go forward. You can kind of push them down and forward if you want to. Bring your weights down to the belly button level. We're going to do a little Roman twist. Knees together, feet together. You got a very narrow balance frame here. You're going to turn and tap your hip with one weight, and then turn and tap your hip with the weight. So go slow enough and let yourself get in a position where you can actually successfully do whatever weight is the one that you can tap with. This is not fast. Torso rotation. Good. Good, good, good. Nice and slow. And this one. Because the center, spread the arms out, and then just toss those legs right behind you in the chest. Feet off of the block and move it out of the way. Okay, let's stretch. So still on the front edge of the chair, bring your feet out to 45. Make sure your heels are underneath your knees. We keep them in a square position because you have the ideal support. You lean forward, then the mechanics take it into your heels and less into your knees. So you want to go there. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll our hips forward so you're arching forward like this. And it is an exaggerated position to be in. And if it bothers you, then you unexaggerate it a little bit. But we want to kind of exaggerate it to kind of take the pressure off of your lower lumbar here. And just go ahead and rest your palms only on the top of your thighs, not at your knees, in the middle of the thighs. Chest is up and open. And then I want you to simply lift your toes off the floor. And then chin. And then press. 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 You're just leaning into it. A lot of different dimensions here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stop and we're going to let our chin roll to our chest. Nice and slow. Relax your neck. Tuck your chin in. So now you feel your neck stretching in a different direction. Put your toes down. Lift your heels up. And I bet you just felt all of that switch out in your hips. Everything you're doing, switch gears. From here, you're going to keep your toes engaged and just simply push up. You start to cramp in your calves, let your heels go down, because that potential is there. Still got your belly button exaggerated forward. Once you get upright, I want you to roll your hips back into normal position. Let your heels go down. We're going to rock. Lift one seat bone off the chair at a time. Let your shoulders start rocking. Shoulders start rocking. And then go ahead and arch your shoulders and roll them forward. And you got your hands here. And then arch them back and just kind of lean into it and squeeze the shoulder blades. And then arch them forward. And then arch them back. We didn't do a whole lot of arms, but we did do a significant amount. We're going to take care of this part that we did a lot of work on. So walk your feet in. All right. Pick up that left leg and cross it over if you can, wherever you're most comfortable with. Okay. So if you're comfortable at ankle, that's great. If you're comfortable more closed, that's fine. All right. Wherever suits you, because most of us can do this. Once you cross, you want to use your right hand to brace, keep your leg from sliding, and just let your left hand hang out here. And you just want to sit up straight. So as you start to sit up straight, you're going to stretch out here, and you're going to roll that hip forward just a little bit. You're going to feel it right through here. So we want to have that nice stretch. You just want to relax. Relax your toes, relax your hand. This hand is holding, this hand is relaxed. And your foot down on the floor is relaxed too. You just want to hold it. Hold it and hold it. All right, and then you want to just relax out of your spine just a smidge. We're going to scoop under this knee. Adjust this right here, and you're just going to pick that leg up and just roll back. And go ahead and roll back to the back of your chair. And just hold this like the biggest knee baby you've ever had. Just hold that there. If that really bothers you, you adjust out of it. You know how to do this. We want to get that leg, those hip flexors, all those lateral muscles we were using, we want to get them stretched out a little bit. And then, of course, you have to use your abs because you don't have any arms to flail with. So sit yourself up forward, relax out of here, and then relax it down slowly. Take it all the way out to the heel, toes up. Okay, so your toes are facing up. Your leg is in that natural lock position. I want you to roll those hips forward so that you feel your hamstrings going into that back of the knee. That's as far as you're going. And then you disengage, put your toes down, slide your leg in. Here we go. Let's do the right leg now. Take it to your comfy position and then get that left leg to lock it in place. Right hand is just going to rest. And you're going to start by rolling your hips forward and sitting up tall, as nice and tall as you can. This hand stays steady. This hand relaxes. Your toes relax on both this foot and the foot on the floor. And you relax your shoulders, except for the one that's doing the work. We're going to hold this position for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to relax the back. We're going to scoop that right arm down. Make sure you still got a good hold here. Pick up that knee, baby. And then just go ahead and sit back in your chair. Then pull it in tighter if you can. Adjust how you're holding it. If you're not feeling any stretch, adjust and find that point where that's going to give you some relaxation there. And just hold it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then use those abs to come forward, and we're going to relax all of this. Take that foot all the way down and out nice and slow on the heel, toes up, leg locked. Okay. And then roll your hips forward until you feel that hamstring say, ooh, and stop right there. We don't want to go past, oh, it's bad. Don't want to go past that. Take a nice deep breath. And let your toes relax and your knee relax and draw that little bugger right back in. Let's go out right here. We're going to do one more. We're going to do an inner thigh stretch. We're going to roll those hips forward again, and we're going to take the elbows to the knees and just make your hands go flat right here so that you can kind of hold yourself in that position. And then you want to relax your toes. So wiggle your toes on the floor. You can look at them. See if you're getting ready for summer feet. It's not even spring yet. Check your feet. Your hands are there to support you, and you're just going to relax and have all the weight rest in your heels. So try not to let your toes be doing a whole lot of the work, or your toe box. You want the weight to be in your heels. You want to feel the stretch in your inner thighs and a little bit through your lower back coming up and through the center. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to start raising the upper body. Nice and slow. Engage, engage, engage. Your spine, your back, your abs. Let's rock one more time on our seat bones. And then do that little hula point to make sure our lower lumbar is loose. And go the other way. Just roll it back around, roll it back around. All right, go ahead and walk your feet in. Walk your feet in, walk your feet in. All right. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I will see you next week, bright and early. Well, not bright and early because it's a nighttime class. I will talk to you later.